Good morning, Glue Troopers. Yes, yes, yes. The good stuff. So, last night, I fed the carpet monster. I decided to build that Atlantis M46 Patton while I was at my desk while I was watching TV with my wife, and I got it mostly done. And you know, good little straightforward kit, exactly what you expect it to be. But the rocket scientist here, I don't know how I did it, because I did actually read the instructions. But you put the wheels on, you have these little end caps that go on, and if you do it carefully, the wheels will roll very nicely. Not that with those little weird rubber band tracks it's going to go anywhere, but you know, just sort of a personal thing. Let's see if I can make the wheels roll. And somehow, despite actually reading the instructions, I managed to get the drive sprocket on the wrong end, and I was like, actually, anyway, just this is a danger of like watching TV when you're doing something, you get a little distracted. So I had to, even though I lightly glued them in, I had to pluck the caps off, and so I could swap the wheels. Well, you probably know where this is going. One of them, and I saw it bounce off my arm, and which way it went into the carpet, and we could not find it. And my wife and I were both on the floor. We moved everything around. It didn't help that the carpet and the part, you know, weren't too far off in color, but I mean, it's a small part, but it's big enough. And I actually saw that little bugger when it went in the air. Oh crap! And I lost it. And then I saw it come down and look, and I saw it bounce off me, off my arm, and go like that way. And I could say we have a 7-foot search radius around it. I checked my pockets, my clothing, the chair. The only thing is under the desk, there's a real thing. That thing's not movable. It's a computer hutch. I mean, so I was like, and after spending 15 minutes, 20 minutes looking for it, I mean, it was not an essential part. I was like, well, you know, there's a point in time where you're just chasing your tail. And you're not even going to notice the part because it hides up under the fender skirt for the most part. And if I hadn't told you and you were looking at this tank, you probably wouldn't even notice it. And I still got to paint it and get the tracks on it and then decal it. But that's about it. And it made a nice little thing to build while we watched a couple of movies. And so that'll be used in the diorama. And let's see. So fed the carpet monster and built a model at the while watching a movie. Now that's not something I normally do, but I normally just listen to music out in the Tarbus when I'm building. But I have to admit, it was kind of nice to do that. That was an interesting way to build, and you know, it's something that doesn't require too much concentration, although clearly when you don't give it enough. So question of the day, what was your last feeding of the carpet monster part that you didn't get back? But I also was snooping around last night. I was just curious if there was one of those old Strombecker or Glencoe Mars liners or moon liners, and I actually found a resin company that makes one that's 41 inches tall, and that was Masterpiece Models, I think was the name of it. And they're a resin company, and I was like, 41 inch tall, that's pretty impressive. That got me to think about the models that you see, like if you watch Disney's Man in Space, the actual models that Walt is holding on to. And I imagine a lot of it was carved out of wood, probably, and I guess they molded some plastic or something. I don't know, because some of them, like that RM-1 retriever rocket, as they call it now, is and the little one-man probe that goes around with the arm, the tentacles, the little claws on it. Those are you have a lot of articulating parts. I don't know if they carved them out of wood or stamped them out of metal or what, but it's just interesting scratch building. I would imagine those props are sitting around on somebody's desk today, but can you imagine what those would be worth if you got one of the actual models that was used in, like by Disney himself, and he's going, man's futures, This model rocket was held by both Walt Disney and Wernher von Braun. So, not sure what the most famous model in that regard would be. A lot of people would say Starship Enterprise, but one's in the Smithsonian. Definitely be on the list. But when it comes to most famous models, I'm thinking, oh gosh, what is a model that everybody would know, that goes, somebody, some actor or public figure, somebody held it up in front of a camera at some point, and it became iconic enough that everyone would recognize it. Yeah, maybe there's not one. Well, today is going to be a model building day. We did all of our chores yesterday, and of course, we got the big dentist appointment tomorrow. Looking forward to that. And so today is just going to be models. Don't know if I'll get any photography done, but sometimes you kind of get your mojo going, and it's just a little bit easier if you, can just sit down and do it without being bothered. That's one of the problems of trying to get into a project when you don't have an hour or two. And I'm sure we've all been in the middle of something, with a loop in your eye or whatever. Dinner time, wet glue and paint everywhere. I can't break now. Well, I should get to it. So thanks guys for tuning in. We will see you later, and happy modeling.